bound to cry and shout and
Anyway, there's another situation that I remember my uncle told me that happened, I think, in the northwestern United States,
mm-hmm.
where they do have a breed of rattlesnake that is very active over there, right? Do you know what I mean by rattlesnake?
I have
It's a,
yes, yes.
it's a venomous snake, a venomous snake. They have a rattle at the end of the tail that kind of shakes and makes noise when they're threatened. So that's your warning, okay? Now, to me, the rattlesnake is not cute. It's not useful. Okay, it's useful to eat mice and stuff, but it's never going to be a pet that is nice to
No,
have, to me.
I,
Anyways,
even I couldn't
but
imagine
anyway,
them as a
it's
pet.
it's oh, I mean, the king cobra is at least a beautiful creature, right? The rattlesnake to me is not. But anyway, this situation happened. This is a real story. Somebody went camping, okay? Some guy went camping. He was sleeping outdoors, I think, in his tent.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wakes up and a rattlesnake is coiled around his chest, okay? You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, I got.
It's wrapped around, it coils itself to sleep. Okay, that's how it sleeps. It kind of turns itself into a ball. So it did that right on his chest, and he wakes up and he sees that rattlesnake right on his chest. What would you do? I mean, let's hope it never happens, mind you. Okay, but okay,
Even
how
right
do you
now,
resolve?
while you're, I mean, when you are describing the situation, I'm feeling creepy. I am feeling like snakes are crawling on my body. So this
It's,
gives me.
it's creepy. Yeah, it is creepy. But see, when this guy was asleep, the rattlesnake came and wrapped himself there, and he didn't even feel it because he was asleep. So when he fight, neither did the rattlesnake realize he was, going to sleep on a person. And anyway, so what do you do?
First thing, if I am aware that this is the place where any snake can come
Hmm.
around you while when you are sleeping at night, especially. So I don't go. I really, really, I would never prefer to such places to stay over there. But in case if any snake or like you said rattlesnakes are rounding all over my body or on my chest, and if I am sleeping mode, that would be okay. But once I wake up and when I see that snake, I would be, I mean, how should I say? Like maybe I would cry, I would, I would shout, and
Okay,
then I use my hand. I guess I would use my hand to keep that snake
throw it away.
away from my body.
Okay.
Yes. Regardless, I would be very scary. Uh, I would be,
Oh,
I mean,
I
the
think anybody
situation
would be
would
frightened.
be
Yeah.
blood curdling for me. But in order to save my life, I would definitely take some actions to keep that snake away from my body.
Well, let me tell you what really happened. And from what my uncle told me, right, that the guy that had this when he finally woke up and realized he had this snake there, so he moves a little bit, then moves a little bit, then moves a little bit, and then he jumps up and runs.
No,
And he did
I
not get hurt.
this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. Nobody can
Okay.
nobody can maintain their patience level and their calmness at that situation.
I
And
know it's
until and
very
unless
difficult.
that person will be a professional snake
Right.
catcher. So because even though we are so habitual to see snakes in India, but very much afraid of snakes. So I can't even imagine such situations.
Well, let me tell you what this guy did right. Okay, he, like you say, he kept his cool. Okay, now he tried to not scare the snake. If he screamed, then the snake wakes up and he's right there face to face with the snake. The snake might bite him on the face, right? So he didn't scream, he didn't make noise, he just moved a little bit and barely moved, and then finally just jumped and ran away before the snake could react. But I think that to wake the snake up, right, when the snake is sleeping like that, and to scare the snake while the snake is still on top of you, I think that's what would be very dangerous. So he kept his cool, and he did not scare the snake until the last moment when he was running away. So he handled that very well. Now that's the thing. It's just that we know that a snake like the king cobra is so dangerous. Okay, so
Mhm.
for me to see one, and especially if I'm not accustomed to seeing them, right, to see one right there in front of you, I think it would be a little bit frightening. I know I would have to keep my cool, but
Uh-huh.
it's just not, it doesn't seem like it's anything that would be easy to do because you're facing possible death right in front of you. And so, by the way, one thing I was curious about also in Mumbai, okay, now
Mhm.
you're now in the city.
Mhm.
How frequent are snake encounters in the city, like in Delhi and in Mumbai?
So yeah, this is something I find very strange. Mumbai, I mean, here and there
Mhm.
we can see snakes in Mumbai, but not in that manner as I used to see in my place because that place
Okay.
is yeah, was full of forest area. But in Mumbai, I have I mean there is less possibility to see snakes in Mumbai. And
Okay.
also, I must say, maybe my area is surrounded by sea, so that is why one of the reasons because of that we are having less snakes here. But yes, we are
Mhm.
safe. Also, one another point is like in village area we have separate house. Everybody has separate house, separate open
Okay.
areas. They have separate gardening areas. They have enough land, you know. So for that is also one of the reasons because we are having a lot of snakes in our village area. And in Mumbai is like a city, so people are living in a
Okay.
flat. So we have less land, less grassland, meadow area, or water bodies. That is, I think, that is why we are having less snakes in this part of city.
Well, have you seen in your time in Mumbai, have you seen a snake unexpectedly anywhere?
So a couple of days ago, let me share
Oh
my
my goodness, recent. Okay.
yes, recently. So I was blessed that I am living in a flat. So in front of my flat there is grassland, okay? And because of
Okay.
rainy season, the land was sorry, the land is completely empty, and there are two or three huge, digs. So that place is completely filled with water, rainy water. So couple of days ago, one snake. I am very good observer, so I always stand on my balcony area and I see outside of my house trees, plants, and land. So yeah, I observe things. So one day I was sitting that area, and all of a sudden I saw a snake. So the snake was quite long in length, and I mean, on the basis of my own experience, I found that snake is non-venomous snake. But
Okay.
then I made a video while looking. So it is so mesmerizing when you see a snake by distance. Okay, that time you enjoy watching the snakes by distance, and it is so inquisitive when you see how they move, how they are running behind their prey, why they are moving here and there. So these things make me excited, thrilling. But
I
when
mean,
it comes to encounter them physically, then it gives me goosebumps. Then I am bound to cry and shout and feel like, oh.
if you see them from a distance, see, that's the way I feel also. You see them from a distance, you see a python, you see a king cobra, you think this is a beautiful animal. It's amazing. But if they're right in front of you and you know they can kill you, it's a different story, right? And
Completely different story. Then you are thinking how to run away.
yeah,
Yes,
wow. Like in Mumbai, do some people occasionally see a snake in their home? Does it get in their houses
I
occasionally?
don't. I can you repeat? I didn't get you properly.
Yeah, can like in Mumbai, can someone see a snake in their house sometimes? I know it will not happen frequently, but can is it possible that someone in Mumbai would encounter a snake in their house?
It may possible for those who are living outskirt of Mumbai, not in flats, not in big apartment, but those who have separate house, outer area from Mumbai, so they can find easily because, like I said, snakes are very common in India. Here and there you can
Oh,
see, and one snake is so common in our house. I am really habitual with that snake. That is in our local language we call it piti. So I don't know what is its English name. Okay, and
right.
in a color it's a green. It is a
Okay.
greenish color, green and very small non-venomous snake.
Great.
So yeah, that snake is so beautiful for me because that snake is non-venomous and we can here and there on regular basis, especially in rainy season. So we find like this snake can be a pet for somebody, at least for us.
Oh, okay.
We can keep the
Yeah.
snake as a pet.
I'm not a snake that's not dangerous to people like the one you're describing. I think that would be a nice thing to have as a pet. But in general, I think we need to remember. I mean, I'm not the greatest snake expert either, but from what I understand, we have to remember a snake is not a puppy. It's not a kitty,
No, not at all.
and especially if we're talking a dangerous snake, which some people do keep at home, and even in the United States, some people are very into snakes, and some have them as pets. But it's not a puppy. Okay, it's not a puppy. You don't just try to caress a rattlesnake. Okay, you don't do that. And so I think we need to remember these creatures have the instinct to strike. Okay,
Yes,
and that's just the way they are. So if it's a venomous snake, it's going to have the instinct to strike, and
yes,
it can be very.
I agree. And at the same time, like we are so afraid of them, but at the same time, they are also afraid of us. All right.
Right.
So we don't need to provoke them, or we shouldn't try to threaten them because in
Yes.
order to
And
protect themselves, strike bites or they
yeah,
strike
that's what it is.
venoms, right?
And that's why I think that it's if possible, it's good not to scare the snake if you see a snake in real life. Okay, if we try to kind of keep our cool, leave it alone. Hopefully, it won't get scared and won't get mad. Then I think we're safer. Yeah. So yeah, well, I tell you what, Megha, I am very, like I said, I'm very impressed and very amazed with the king cobra. I know it's the largest of the cobras. I know it's a snake-eating snake. It can eat other snakes that are smaller than itself, and the other snake usually does not have a chance against the king cobra. The king cobra is
They are, I
just
think, the one of the longest snake in the world, I guess. They can
and
grow up
yes.
to
I
15 to
mean,
20.
from what I understand, a cobra, king cobra, typically cannot eat a python because the python is too big around. Okay, too big around, but it can eat other snakes, other
Yes,
venomous snakes,
yes.
and it's just, I mean, it's very impressive all the way around in that the king cobra is kind of like. In India, it's a little bit like the lion in Africa. Okay, they're like like the big boss. They just can strut around, and they can just be confident that they can defeat
I
anybody.
think
And
I mean, if we have to explain them, so we can say that these cobras indeed have a haunted reputation. All right.
yeah,
So, okay, let me tell you that it occurs a lot of time. That what is the significance of snake? All right. Everybody, I mean, why does we all connect with those snakes? However, sometimes we get mesmerized, sometimes we get entangled, sometimes we feel thrilled while seeing snakes. So, why it happens? What is so mystical about seeing snakes? Why we have a lot of animals in this planet? When it comes to seeing a snake or talking about snakes, it makes us feel thrilled, fear, I mean, scared, afraid. So many feelings are together, right? So why
right.
it happens? Why we feel so?
Well, it's a little bit like say another animal in India, I believe, is what, the Bengal tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. So a tiger is in many ways, I think, is similar in the sense that it's a beautiful animal. You see it on a video and you think this is just an amazing creature. You see one face to face and you know it can kill you. So it's suddenly a completely different mindset if you see it face to face, right? I think the cobra is kind of like that. It's just like the tiger in a very different way, okay, can kill you, and there's no venom involved, but I mean it's just such a big, dangerous animal, and it's just that's the thing. They're beautiful, but they're dangerous. Okay, the tiger, the king cobra, and there's of course several other animals that we could describe that way, and I think that that's the when you realize they're dangerous, you also realize that, okay, you admire them, but from a safe distance. Okay,
Yes, yes.
from a
I
safe distance.
Yes, yes, I agree. What I feel about them is like they have some distinctive characteristics from other
Okay.
animals. Like they don't have legs, okay, but they can move far better than any other animals or than us, right? And they scroll, and they don't have ears. Yes, they don't have ears. They have sight, and they can smell, but they can't hear. All right, and the way they hunt their prey, the way they eat, they just don't crush their prey. They just swallow them completely,
Oh,
singularly, whole body.
it's
These
it's
are
it's it's creepy.
There are several
Yeah,
things which make them different, which make them unique.
and of course the snake, does not have an eyelid that doesn't blink its eyes. It's always has its eyes open, and it always looks angry. It cannot change the expression on its face. It always looks angry, and that makes it even more mysterious. It's a very, very mysterious animal. Okay, are we running out of time, Megha?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Uh, of the flow of this topic, it is so interesting and
Oh,
so thrilling. So I forgot to see the
well,
time. Yes.
there's a lot more that I could say, but maybe we can chat about it more some other time. But it's just it's a dangerous part of visiting some parts of India, but
Mhm.
to me it's just still fascinating. So I hope to go see India, and I would even like to see some of the cobras, but like I said, from a distance, safe distance, and then I'll be fine.
Yes, yes. We will try our best to keep you away from, at least from King Cobra,
Okay.
whenever you
Oh
come.
yes, that
Yeah.
would be amazing.
All right, all right.
That would be amazing, but as long as I feel safe, we'll be fine. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
hey, it's good to see you, Megha,
yeah. Really.
and maybe we'll chat again.
Yes, yes, why not?
Okay.
For sure. All right, bye bye.
Okay.
Have a
Bye
nice
bye
day.
now.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.